Intel Core Ultra 200S series processors, codenamed Aero, are tuned for maximum performance and peak efficiency. They bring next-gen cores, dedicated accelerators, and the best connectivity we have ever delivered for enthusiast desktops. To fully unlock their potential, you'll need a motherboard with our flagship Z890 chipset. These boards are built for gamers, streamers, and content creators, so you're loaded with all kinds of goodies. You can focus on just the features you need, get a few extras that you want, or treat yourself to something more extravagant. I'm your host, Alejandro Hoyos, and today we're going to showcase a stack of Z890 motherboards to consider for your next build. The motherboard works with a processor and chipset to manage all the connections in your PC. It is an important job that involves moving lots of data around as quickly as possible. To facilitate this, Aero uses an LGA 1851 socket with more pins than the previous generation. The processor has up to 24 cores based on our latest architecture, Lion Cove P cores and Skymon E cores. This is our first tester processor with an NPU, which can offload sustained AI workloads like background removal that will otherwise run on your graphics card. The built-in Intel Arc GPU also has an advanced media engine to offload video decoding and encoding, including AV1. To push the limits of unlock Aero desktop processor models ending in K or KF, you need a Z890 chipset to enable overclocking. It lets you chase the best performance by tuning the different processing engines and the connections between them. You can also overclock your RAM. The memory controller works with DDR5 up to 6,400 megatransfers per second, and some of these motherboards are rated for more than 9,000 megatransfers with XMP. What about other components? The processor has 16 lanes of PCIe Gen 5 for graphics plus 4 more for super fast storage. In addition, there are 4 Gen lanes on the processor and up to 24 more from the Z890 chipset, so there's plenty of room for upgrades. Aero integrates Thunderbolt 4 on the desktop for the first time, which is great for creating. There is USB 3.2 in every imaginable configuration, along with integrated wire and wireless networking, and that's just built into the platform. Some boards also add separate chips for Thunderbolt 5, Wi-Fi 7, and 10 gigabit Ethernet. Let's take a closer look. ASUS Z890 lineup has something for every PC builder. The 3 models we're showing off today are tailored for different kinds of users, but they share a lot of useful features. Have you ever struggled to secure an M.2 SSD after snapping it into its slot? The M.2Q latch replaces that tiny screw with a tool-free snap to hold your drive in place. ASUS includes practical extras like this to simplify graphics card swaps, SSD upgrades, and hardware troubleshooting. The whole lineup includes helpful software. AI overclocking profiles your CPU and cooler to assess their capabilities and then overclock it up to that point. You can engage those settings automatically for a performance boost or use them as a starting point for your own overclocking. AI Cooling 2 runs a proprietary algorithm that monitors CPU temperatures during a brief stress test. Then, it dynamically adjusts your fan curve to balance thermals and acoustics. All 3 boards also include NPU Boost, a BIOS feature that overclocks Aero's NPU for even a faster AI acceleration. The ASUS ProArt Z890 Creator Wi-Fi starts with the enthusiast-friendly features, packing class-leading specifications, then dress it all up in a professional package. Think Arnold Schwarzenegger in a tux. This board makes the most of the platform's connectivity. On top of the dual PCIe Gen 5 slot, it also includes a 4-lane PCIe Gen 4 slot for adding cards. Now that you're likely to need them, the ProArt already includes 2.5 gigabit and 10 gigabit Ethernet plus Wi-Fi 7. With 5 M.2 slots, there's plenty of room for storage. And if you still need more space, Thunderbolt 5 gives you up to 80 gigabits of bandwidth for external drives. Of course, ASUS taps into the Thunderbolt 4 and USB 3.2 technologies native to this platform. Just look at all the ports around the back. The ProArt Creator Hub brings us back to this board's workstation calling. One software interface gives you access to color and workflow management features, plus a dashboard for switching fan profiles and performance mode. Dressed all in white, the ROG Strix Z890A gaming Wi-Fi is perfect for a clean look, or it can add a touch of color with polymo lighting on its I/O shroud. This board can be part of a fully coordinated battle station. Add in ROG graphics card, monitor, keyboard, and mouse for matching colors and effects, all controlled through the ASUS Armory Crate software. Metallic heatsinks really pop against the board's 8-layer PCB, and they aren't just for aesthetics. Strategic airflow channels help cool power delivery hardware underneath. Like the ProArt, the Strix has an extra beefy array of power stages to support multi-core workloads, demanding AI tasks, and overclocking. Heatsink also cools the 5 M.2 slots. The latest PCIe Gen 5 SSD can get pretty warm, so extra cooling helps maintaining consistent performance under load. This board has a couple more features that'll spice up your favorite shooter. The first is Supreme FX Audio, which blends hardware and software to achieve spatial sound mixed by Dolby Atmos. You can also count on low gaming latency over wired and wireless connections thanks to integrated 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and Wi-Fi 7. Who says building an awesome Aero-like gaming PC has to cost an arm and a leg? The ASUS TUF Gaming Z890 Pro Wi-Fi proved that value and quality go together like cookies and milk. And with that, I make me hungry. I'll be back. Chocolate chip cookies, can't beat that. Now, the TUF Gaming brand is synonymous with durability, so it's no surprise this board goes hard on durable components. Metal reinforced PCIe slot, an integrated memory slot sheath, special dies to prevent ESD, and stainless steel's I/O panel are a few of the features that help this board live up to its name. Beyond the sturdy foundation, the board looks great. I like the contrast of dark slots and connectors against a lighter theme. Metal heatsinks cover the M.2 slots and power faces, cooling the spots that need it the most. This board has quite few slots for storage and extra adding cards, giving you room to grow. And with Wi-Fi 7, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, and Thunderbolt 4 built in, it's already well equipped out of the box. ASRock set its sights on enthusiasts with a bold lineup of Z890 motherboards. It's hard to pick favorites here. Each model has its own look, from bright and fresh to dark and brooding, so we'll sample across a few different price points. No matter your budget, ASRock bets big on storage. All three of the motherboards we're looking at today includes a whopping 6 M.2 slots, so you can easily add up storage to keep up with your game library. Large heatsinks cover the area over those slots, keeping your SSDs cool and adding a bit of eye candy. ASRock also covers the chipsets and voltage regulators with extra large sinks. The top-to-bottom metal practically begs for a starring role inside your windowed case. DIY-friendly features makes it easy for first-time builders and seasoned pros to get on with the show. Toolless M.2 heatsink designs pop up without needing a screwdriver. A simple quick-release mechanism locks the drives in place. With a graphics card easy release, you can pop out your GPU without fuzz. Let's kick things off with the ASRock Z890 Nova Wi-Fi. This value pack entry into the world of high-end gaming boasts a beefy VRM. It's built to deliver clean power to the Aero-like CPUs even under heavy multi-core loads. The board is optimized for overclocking with features like Memory OC Shield, which aims to provide more headroom for tuning by protecting memory modules from electromagnetic interference. With the right DDR5 kit, ASRock says you can push up to 9,600 megatransfers per second or more. Connectivity is another of this board's strengths. You might need a router upgrade to keep up with the 2.5 and 5 gigabit network controller. And don't forget Wi-Fi 7 since that's built in too. Dual Thunderbolt 4 ports on the back deliver fast transfer rates, up to 15 watts for charging devices and support for monitors with resolution up to 8K. You also get 10 USB Type-A ports, and if the 6 M.2 slots aren't enough, ASRock adds an expansion card with room for 4 more SSDs. Are you one of those gamers who likes to put all their talent points into one tree? Then you're going to appreciate ASRock Z890 Taichi OCF. It makes specific design choices focused entirely on improving overclocking. By removing 2 slots and optimizing the path between the memory and the CPU, ASRock claims it can reach over 12,000 megatransfers per second. That's almost double the official spec. An overclocking toolkit opposite to the memory slots gives you hardware-level shortcuts to your favorite controls. Use the plus and minus button for quick frequency adjustment. 3 profile buttons work great for saving known good settings. And the LN2 mode, slow mode, retry, and safe boot all help overcome common challenges for hardcore overclocking. Get this, there's even a little hole and a connector for adding a ceramic heating pad inside the processor socket. Extreme overclockers use these to keep Aero Lake's SoC tile from freezing over when cooling with liquid nitrogen. Even though the Z890 Taichi OCF is built for breaking world records, it's still a daily driver with all the amenities of an Enthusiast motherboard. You get Wi-Fi 7, Thunderbolt 4, 5 gigabit Ethernet, and dual PCIe Gen 5 slots for next-gen graphics. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more extreme, meet the ASRock Z890 Taichi AQUA. This is the intersection between high-end computing and art, and you're gonna want a window case to show it off. ASRock builds water blocks right into the voltage regulator and M.2 heatsink. No aftermarket modding needed, just plug in your own liquid cooling setup. The massive 28-phase VRM is built to deliver clean, stable power to your own overclock Aero Lake CPU. And the 10-layer circuit board improves signal integrity and power distribution compared to 8 layers design. ASRock upgrades the networking with 10 and 5 gigabit Ethernet controllers plus Wi-Fi 7. It also uses a premium audio chip with dedicated high-end capacitors for higher fidelity sound. Now check out that back panel. It's loaded with Thunderbolt plus 8 more Type-C connectors for all your peripherals. GIGABYTE's Z890 motherboard portfolio covers everyone from creators to gamers, and there's not a boring looking board in this bunch. Some of them are white, some of them are black, some mixing splashes of gray. But they all strut their stuff with big metal heatsinks for the VRM and the M.2s. The lineup hits some exciting price points while delivering the best of the platform. You get plenty of M.2 slots, Thunderbolt 4, and high-speed networking. GIGABYTE adds its own DIY features to make building your Aero Lake PC a little easier. PCIe Easy Latch Plus simplifies graphics card installation. M.2 Easy Latch Click and M.2 Easy Latch Plus do the same for M.2 SSDs and heatsinks. And Wi-Fi Easy Plug makes connecting antennas a snap. GIGABYTE's AI-driven enhancements help with pushing your CPU and memory for better performance. The one-click overclocking engine is trained on a diverse dataset to balance performance and stability. And AI was also used to optimize the VS, routing, and stuck-up of the circuit board. When time is money, content creators splurge on powerful workstations to get the job done faster. But GIGABYTE's Z890 Aero G is proof that pro-level hardware doesn't have to break the bank. At an entry-level price point, it's loaded with high-end features. Dual PCIe Gen 5 slots pipe right into the CPU for multi-GPU rendering setups. A 3x16 lot runs at a PCIe Gen 4 transfer rates, which is good fit for video capture cards. GIGABYTE integrates all the other connectivity you need. Dual 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and Wi-Fi 7 handle high-speed networking. 4K video projects are easy to fit on a solid-state storage spread across 5 M.2 slots. And if you need more capacity, expand with an external Thunderbolt 4 drive. The story gets even better if you use a Wacom Cintiq pen display. GIGABYTE's Thunderbolt 4 port can transfer data, output video, and provide up to 60 watts of power through one Type-C cable. Say goodbye to adapters and hello to a cleaner setup. Stop, collaborate, and listen. What is in a name? For Aorus GIGABYTE's Z890 Aorus Pro Eyes, it's a white PCB, white slots and connectors with white heatsinks, and even white fan for cooling your RAM if you want to push for higher DDR5 speeds in style. The spec sheet matches its handsome looks. You get built-in 5 gigabit Ethernet and Wi-Fi 7, dual Thunderbolt 4 ports along with loads of USB, and a high-def audio codec paired with special caps that give off audiophile vibes. Out of the box, this board shows a bit of a sass with lighting under the M.2 heatsink and over the VRM sink. It also features one RGB header and 3 ARGB headers for coordinating extra LEDs inside your case. And if you want real-time insights on your system health, you can use GIGABYTE's Sensor Panel Link. It's an HDMI port built right into the motherboard for driving a dedicated display to show processor, graphics, memory, and network telemetry, so that you can keep an eye on key stats while admiring your sweet build. The Z890 Aorus Master sits at the top of GIGABYTE's stack with feature set for enthusiasts who appreciate the finer things like me. Instead of a 2.5 or a 5 gigabit Ethernet, you get blazing fast 10 gigabit controller. There are 5 M.2 slots and 2 of them can operate at Gen 5 speeds. GIGABYTE also builds one high-def audio by adding an upgraded DAC and a headphone amp from ESS. And the processor's voltage regulation circuit gets upgraded to 18 phases in 9+9 parallel configuration. The beefed up VRM goes hand in hand with some big thermal optimizations. It's covered by a high-performance thermal pad to draw heat away from the VRM and an integrated pipe to help spread the heat evenly, and one-piece heatsink with massive surface area to help dissipate. Thoughtful touches elsewhere help bring down the temperatures in targeted hotspots. The vents along the back I/O panel, optional fan for cooling the memory slots, and the reduced load CPU socket can all give overclockers a better chance at success. MSI takes a two-pronged approach to making its Z890 motherboard special, adding both hardware and software extras. To start, these are some of the first boards out there ready for ATX 3.1. They include an extra 8-pin connector that delivers more wattage to the graphics card slot under intense workloads. MSI says this can keep up with power excursions up to 2.5 times what of a normal PCI Express slot delivers. AI is hot over at MSI as well. Its AI Boost feature overclocks Aorus-like NPU to speed up sustained AI workloads. Together with Game Boost and memory overclocking settings, there are plenty of options for tuning performance across the family. MSI has its own set of DIY-friendly designs elements that let you swap graphics cards and SSDs with ease. This Easy PCIe release button unlocks the primary by16 slot with a simple press. For storage, the Easy M.2 shield pops off easily and the M.2 clip underneath secures the drive without tools. There's also a special tool for moving the clip to support different M.2 sizes. Gamers on a budget should consider MSI's MAG Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. It captures the essence of everything the Z890 chipset can do, enhanced by a full complement of MSI's extras. And it's available at a price that lets you splurge on faster CPU, GPU, or memory. This is an easy board to build with. MSI's Easy PCI release and Steel Armor 2 protect the PCI slot against accidental damage from heavy graphics cards. And using the Easy M.2 feature, you can add up to 4 SSDs and cover them with heatsinks without ever touching a screwdriver. The Z890 Tomahawk integrates MSI's Tri-Link connectivity suite made of Thunderbolt 4, Killer 5 Gigabit Ethernet, and Wi-Fi 7. There's a PCIe Gen 5 slot for your next-gen graphics card, plus 2 PCIe Gen 4 slots for expansions beyond the onboard controllers. And remember, MSI's boards are ATX 3.1 ready. They include a dedicated 8-pin connector for piping more power to the PCIe slots. The MPG series adds a premium touch for gamers who want to make a statement. The Z890 Carbon Wi-Fi goes sleek with a black PCB, heatsink, and connectors, punctuated by a tasteful RGB lighting. 1 RGB header and 3 more for adjustable LEDs let you pull the other RGB lighting into your build. 2 large heatsinks cover this board's 20 CPU power phases. Thermal pads underneath them move heat away from the MOSFETs as quickly as possible, while a heat pipe between them balances the thermal load. Heatsinks also cover the Z890 chipsets and 5 M.2 slots. Connectivity gets a big boost from 3 Type-C and a whopping 10 Type-A ports on the back panel. 2 of these are 40 gigabit Thunderbolt 4 ports, and the rest are 10 gigabit USB 3.2 Gen 2. MSI also beefs up the high-speed networking with a second Ethernet controller, giving you the choice between 5 and 2.5 gigabit wireless links in addition to Wi-Fi 7. When only the best will do, add MSI's MAG Z890 Ace to your shopping list. Everything about this board is bigger and better. Its CPU VRM spreads intense workloads across 24 power phases. To keep them running efficiently, those phases are topped with high-performance thermal pads that transfer energy into a U-shaped heat pipe connected to 3 sinks that draw heat away from the board. All that helps keep the MAG Z890 Ace running cool and stable out of the box, while also giving series overclockers more power and headroom to explore. MSI rearranges some of the slots on ports to ensure peak bandwidth from every upgrade. 2 of the PCI slots support Gen 5 transfer rates, boosting performance for multi-GPU rendering. Or if storage is more of a priority, 2 of the 5M.2 slots also support PCIe Gen 5. 10 gigabit Ethernet and Wi-Fi 7 cover cutting-edge networking. And if you didn't think that the back panel could get any more packed, MSI fits 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, 2 10 gigabit Type-C ports, and 11 Type-A ports. There's even an onboard header for a Thunderbolt 5 expansion card. So there you have it. 12 motherboards, all based on the Intel Z890 chipset and designed to show off the very best of Aero. Some models put the focus on value, so you can spend more on the rest of your rig. Others are a little more extravagant, demonstrating what's possible when price isn't a factor. But across the board, you're looking at more modern features and connectivity than any previous Intel platform.